Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gold Rush, also known as Gold Mining Simulator. I don't really know what the name of this thing is, but either way, it is actually quite fun to play if you haven't played it yet. So, we have some things to do here. So, everything's been cleaned out. It's been about 2 weeks since I've played. Just got back from our vacation trip, or whatever you want to call it. So, it's been a while. So, excuse me if this video is a little bit crazy. Um, but yeah, so I'm thinking we're gonna have to move all that stuff. Not because it's bad or nothing, just because it might be just a touch easier. It helps if the right water connector's connected. Do we have water? And let's see. Oh no, because it's not that one, it's this one. Right? There we go. Like I said, I'm figuring everything out. But anyway, yes, we just got back. Um, Actually, yesterday we just flew in back home, and it I am happy to be home. It's not, you know, the best thing to be home. I mean, I'd rather be somewhere else, but it's definitely fun, more fun to be back home and everything else, where I know where I'm going and so on and so forth. So that should be fine. So we're just gonna keep on trucking. So in case if you guys didn't know, what we did was the wife set me up for a birthday cruise. Um, Set me up for the Royal Caribbean, and yeah, we went on the Grandeur of the Seas, which it was an okay boat. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was okay. The only thing is that I wish we would have went on a just a touch bigger boat, and that is only because when we got on the boat, it was massive, right? I think it's like 965 feet, something like that. So she's a big boat. But the problem is that we had, of course, the first sea day. We spent all day just walking around the boat, trying to figure out where everything was. The dinner and our room and everything else. And so basically, we pretty much knew where everything was um, before we even took off. So we had a late departure. We were supposed to take off um, at like 3:30 Eastern time, but apparently that was a little bit false advertisement because we didn't leave until like 5:30, 6 o'clock Eastern time. But everything else was okay other than that. But yeah, so then after that, we took off, and like I said, we pretty much just walked the boat, figured out where everything was, and then just went on from there. The casino, it was great. Put about, $60 in or whatever, and won about 300 back the first day. The second day, however, we didn't do jack squat. And then, of course, as the days went on, it just got worse and worse. So, can't complain too terribly much, but let's just say we didn't gamble very much after that. We landed in Haiti. I think that would have been Tuesday, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I think that was either Monday or Tuesday. Went to I guess it was a like private part of the island, Labadee, Haiti. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was not Oregon. Let me just tell you what. It was not. In the slightest, it wasn't. Palm trees everywhere. The beach was just white sand. I mean, the ocean was like a teal blue. It was absolute beautiful, beautiful. So we went out there for, I think we were only in port. I think it was like 10 hours or something like that. It could have been a little less. I think it was like 8 to 3 or something. 7 to 3. So what's that? That's 5. Yeah, about 8 hours or so. So we were on the beach for 5 hours, and I got a absolute terrible sunburn because, well, from being from Oregon, we don't much tan because it's always rainy and whatnot. So that is my excuse for being absolute sunburnt. So we went down to the one of the stores they have on board and got some aloe vera because we didn't have none. And that was after putting sunscreen on. So it was just, yeah. Me, I don't need to go back to Haiti unless I have lots of sunscreen because it was nuts. Apparently, we didn't have uh, the powerful enough sunscreen or something. I don't know. It wasn't working out for me. But anyway, it was still a beautiful place. So then we left there, and then we went to Puerto Plata, I guess is what it's called, there in Dominican Republic. And that one was kind of lackluster, to say the best. I mean, it wasn't necessarily the coolest place to be. The harbor, it was pretty dirty, like brown water and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's a harbor, so we couldn't judge too bad on that. But then there wasn't much to do. There was like a resort type deal, and, it had some pools and stuff. But, like, there was 2 cruise ships there. There was us, and then there was, I think it was a Norwegian line. And so it was pretty busy, and just people everywhere. So there wasn't much to do. You couldn't really see the beach on this one, or that one, I guess I should say, just because you had to pay for everything to get away. And so that was pretty crazy. Where are we at is what we're looking for. We are at 56%. But yeah, so it was pretty, like, you had to pay to get away from the resort and stuff like that. So it wasn't necessarily the coolest place to be. I don't ever have to go back, but I mean, if I had the chance, I mean, I guess I probably would. But yeah, like I said, I don't have to go back, but we've been there, right? So now we can decide. But anyway, and then after that, we just we were back on board, and then we headed home for the last sea day. So it was, 5, 6 days? Well, technically, we were on the boat for 6 days and 5 nights. So it was absolutely fun. It was fun. We came home. So today is Tuesday, I think. Yeah, today's Tuesday. So we came home yesterday, all the way from Miami, and just landed at the, Portland airport, just like normal. Then we had to drive home. But I'll tell you this. I haven't flown in a plane since I was about 6 or 7. And then I haven't had to deal with the airports, TSA and stuff like that. My parents did all that, right? So now, being old as hell, is what I like to call it, and having to deal with TSA and everything else, it is absolutely insane. A lot of rules that we got to follow. When we were leaving, so we first got on the plane, they stole my brand new tube of toothpaste, only because it was like 4.5 ounces or whatever it was. And I was like, it's toothpaste. Well, they didn't care. So they stole my toothpaste. Didn't know toothpaste was bad. That's why we brought that brand new tube. So didn't know it was bad. So they took it, which, like I said, nothing much we can do about it now. But it's fine. Landed in Phoenix, and holy cow, that is the biggest kerfluffle I've ever seen in my life, or so we thought. It was 1.5 miles, is what the phone said after we walked it, and we had like 15 minutes to get there. Plus, we had to find our bags. We made it by 5 minutes. 5 minutes we made it. So that was pretty crazy. And then, of course, we checked our bags, just because we were going to Miami. Didn't want to do, like, the first plane we got on was, pretty small, so it didn't have a whole lot of overhead storage. But the second plane had a lot of overhead storage, but we didn't know that. So we just checked the bags. They were looking for volunteers to check the bags for free. And so we did all that. There was a ton of room. Didn't have to do that. But we landed in Miami, and I don't even know where we went. Where we landed and went into the terminal at, it took us like half an hour to find this place. And that was even following the signs. But I asked somebody, like, hey, where's, I think it was Carousel 22 is where we had to be. I was like, where is this place? And this lady was like, oh, well, she didn't say nothing. She just pointed straight ahead. I'm like, okay. I'm sorry for bugging you, And so, that was about perfect timing, wasn't it? But anyway, so we went and finally found them. I didn't know we had to take the SkyTrain thing. So we just walked it, right? But we finally found it, grabbed the bags, took an Uber from the airport. Or no, actually, we got a shuttle that time. From the airport, made it to the hotel. Checked in, everything was fine. And we didn't have anything to do, so we got there Friday, and then we couldn't go anywhere. Or I shouldn't say go anywhere. We couldn't really do anything until Sunday. Sunday's when we embarked and all that stuff. What am I doing here? So this, so that's out. That goes over here. Oh, okay. I know what I did. That's why that's all connected. Yeah, I think. Hell, I don't know anymore. Anywho, so we got to the airport, or the hotel, excuse me, and all that was fine. We decided that we have to go get toothpaste. So we went, instead of going to Walmart, like that would have been a smart idea, we decided, let's just go to the mall. Have a good time, whatever. Well, I'm not big on malls. I'm not big on shopping. So it was interesting. People were everywhere. I'm everywhere. It was insane. The closest mall to me is Portland. I mean, it's so crazy, but this was everywhere. So, we got our toothpaste. That was expensive. It was like $20 for 2 little tubes of it. It was insane. Definitely not used to that. Okay, let me just put it that way. And then, when we got that all squared away, let's see, what am I doing here? Put that in there. So once we got that all squared away, we went back to the hotel, and I think we ordered Chinese food that night. Just DoorDashed Chinese food because we didn't have a car or nothing, so we just kind of just hung out, I should say. And so because we did that, we had food for the next 2 days. Thankfully, we had a fridge this time. I'll get to that a little bit later. And then the next day, what did we do the next? I think we just hung out at the hotel. Pretty boring. Just waited for something to do, hung out. But we were pretty tired the first day, so it makes a lot of sense just to hang out anyway. But yeah, so the second day we just hung out and everything else. Well, then the crazy part starts. So we planned this, I can't even take credit. The wife planned this cruise start to finish all by herself. She didn't have anybody, nobody's help. Didn't go to Royal for help. Didn't go anybody. Nobody for help. So she did it all herself. And she did fantastic, except for the little part of traveling. She didn't get the, would it be traveling? I don't know. She didn't get the rides taken care of. So we took an Uber up to Fort Lauderdale because we landed in Miami. We thought it was out of Miami, but apparently it was Fort Lauderdale, and that is a giant difference. It's about 31 miles. So because we did that, that was a clusterfuck. So we went up there. It was $44 just to get there. Just to get there. $44. Well, then we found out very quickly that this guy didn't speak any English. No English whatsoever. Let's see. Let's put that one in. Not real sure why you're red. There we go. So no English whatsoever. Why are you running? Oh, because you're connected. That makes sense. Why are you not running? Do you have a power outlet? Oh, no, you don't have a power outlet. That makes sense. This is making sense. There we go. Why do you not have water? This water. Okay. It also helps if you turned on the thing. That makes sense. Are we working now? I think we're working now. Maybe. There we go. We're finally figuring this thing out. It may take all day, but we're slowly getting there. Oh, that one already has it, so we'll just leave that one unplugged. So anyway, long story short, took a ride. This guy spoke no English whatsoever. And what a cluster that was. because I don't speak Spanish. And I know like very, very little of Spanish to even get me by. So, because I don't speak Spanish, and this guy only spoke Spanish, it was very, I wouldn't say frustrating. It was very frustrating. So, my wife, she pulls up her phone, and we thought that it was like Terminal 18 or something. Well, it turns out that we had to go to Terminal 19. Well, Terminal 19 is across the road and like 2 miles away. So we got it past where this fella could understand what was happening. So he cancels the ride and starts over. So that was a $44 ride. And now it's a $62 ride because he charged us another ride to go 2 miles. Which is fine, I guess. Whatever, right? Can't really complain because whatever. We didn't know that he charged us another ride until the after effect when the bill came. And so the wife, because it was such a cluster, we tipped him $20, good sport, whatever. And then we got the bill. So we were kind of pissed off about that. But, whatever. Oh well, we got to the boat, everything was fine. And then we were getting off the boat. I know it's kind of a weird story, but we were getting off the boat, the ship, whatever you want to call it. And everything was okay as well. The only weird part is that we should have took an Uber. It's what we should have done, but we didn't. We decided I decided, which was a massive mistake. I was like, well, the terminal or the Uber is like just busier than hell. So let's just do a taxi, right? A taxi. How bad could it be? Absolutely terrible. Would not recommend 0 out of 10. So what happened was we took an Uber or a taxi 31 miles. I never been inside a taxi, so I had no idea how much it actually was going to be. Where I'm from, you could damn near walk everywhere. You don't have to take a taxi. So anyway, besides, long story short, we got all that squared away. Took a taxi, and when we got inside, it was 48 cents every 1/6 of a mile. Every 1/6 of a mile. So we ended up paying $95.03 just to get 31 miles away. It was insane. It was ludicrous, I gotta say. It was nuts. So $95 later, we finally got to where we needed to be, and that was back home. So we get to the hotel. It's like 9:30 in the morning. Nobody's even basically woke up yet. So of course we can't get the room. We have a ton of luggage. Well, not a ton. We have like 5 bags of luggage. Nothing we can do. So we asked the fella, like, hey, can we, put our stuff here just to, see what's up. Guy goes, yeah, you can leave your stuff here and stuff like that. So we left the suitcases, went to a McDonald's right next door. We sat there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm telling the wife, the trip was a little bit more expensive than I thought it was going to be, or we both thought it was going to be, just because, of things. So what we did was we went from there, and I told her, I was like, if you want to do something, now's the time to do it. She wanted to go to like this museum of ice cream thing and stuff like that. So we were trying to figure out what we could do, and basically what we did was we got a rental car, and that was an absolute nightmare at best. Absolute nightmare. I don't even know how it was a nightmare. Everything was just it was fun, don't get me wrong, but it was so crazy. It was nuts. So anyway, we went back to the airport because that's where the rental cars were. Or it was the closest one, I should say, to where we were at. So we went to the airport, and then we found out that we were just being an idiot because it wasn't even there. So we left there, took a shuttle somewhere else, so we took a shuttle away from the airport to get back to the terminal, already, or not the terminal, the rental car place, and got all that squared away. And then as soon as we did that, we found out that it was taking, like, this guy at the counter. It was, holy crap, 600. Wow, that's pretty nuts. Okay. Oh, because it's full. So it was taking this guy, like, forever. 45 minutes, like, per person, basically, to get these people their cars, you know. So we said, screw it. We were there for, like, I think it was, oh, how long was it? I think it was like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I told the wife, I was like, screw this. Let's go just back to the airport. We're going to pay a bunch. But, you know, basically at this point, screw it. And so that's what we did. We left there, and I probably shouldn't have done that. But, oh, well, too bad now. So we went back to the airport, got a rental car, and everything was pretty much smooth sailing from there. It was just getting there. And then after that, of course, you know, we had a rental car. We were there for 2 more days because we got off the boat on a Friday, and then it was a lot cheaper. And when I mean a lot cheaper, it was like $700 or something like that to fly home on a Monday than the weekend. So we flew home Monday morning, got home at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Pacific time. Would I go back to Miami? Probably not. I mean, I didn't leave nothing in Miami that I know of. But it's crazy. I mean, if I would have known Spanish and stuff like that, it would have been a lot easier. But I don't know. Like when we were exploring the town and stuff like that, everybody was just saying that, you know, they don't want to learn, so they don't. Like they just, I guess, not care is a bit rude. But I guess they don't care, you know, about learning English and stuff. But had a good time nonetheless. It was a pretty crazy adventure, and it's definitely going to be a while before we can do that again. Let's just put it that way. But it was definitely fun. If you've never been to, you know, out of the country and stuff like that, it was fun. I mean, Royal pretty much takes care of you in that aspect because, you know, they block everything off so, you know, you don't get mauled by everybody outside of, or in the city, right? So, I mean, it's alright, but I don't know if I'd go back to Miami. Let's just put it that way. I feel like we're missing something because I feel like I don't know. This one is empty. Yeah, I feel like we're not getting as much gold as we should be. Especially with like a 600 ounce something. But anyway, let's see what the grand total is. It shouldn't be too terribly bad. 108 ounces of gold. Can't complain with that for nothing. So, yeah, 222 ounces of gold in the end. I appreciate everybody listening to me complain about the trip. Like I said, I'm not complaining about the trip. It was actually a fantastic trip. I really did enjoy it. It was just, there was moments where it wasn't as fun as it should have, or it could have been. You know, there was a lot of things that was very frustrating. But, you know, what can you do about it? So, anyway, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Hopefully in the next video I will see you here where we will continue our quest to pay off everything. Because we got a lot of things to pay off. Is that filling up? Yes, it is. We used 37,000 gallons of water. That's a bit insane. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. I'll catch you on the next one. And you all, take care.